Hey everybody, we've got a special one here on Descent at Best today. I'm Greg, and I'm home here at Appalachian State University. I'm a professor here, and so sometimes, especially when I don't have a lot of time or if it rained and the trails are wet, I come here to shred out the campus. But I also want to focus on this helmet, which I just bought. It's the POC Kortal Race MIPS, so let's talk about it. All right, so we'll start off talking about features in a second. Just gotta hit these stairs. Yeah. And it's all about the acronyms. So this is a POC helmet, which stands for piece of cake. And its color is AVIP, which stands for attention, visibility, interaction, protection, I think. Anyways, it's like the super neon orangest neon orange ever. And it's got an NFC chip, which stands for near field communication. It's got a Reco reflector, aramid bridge. I feel like there's another, oh yeah, it's got MIPS. Stands for multi-directional impact protection system. A lot of Swedish companies, including POC, collaborating on the helmet. Making it really kind of the safest thing around. Let's check out this rock guard. Like literally a rock guard. So this thing retails for $250, which is definitely one of the most expensive helmets you can get. It's got all the features. I mean, this is the race one with MIPS. You can get a POC Kortal helmet for $200 without the MIPS and without the NFC chip. But it also doesn't have the aramid bridge, and the aramid stuff is kind of like hexalite, if you recall old Reebok shoes, like a honeycomb pattern. It's a lot stiffer though, and it really helps with impact protection. So I'm coming off of a helmet that I actually dented and cracked, which was also from POC. It was their Tectal, and yeah, I wanted even more protection. This thing covers all the way back down your head. It's listed as an enduro helmet. So it's kind of got the most protection that a half shell is ever gonna have, which is why I got it. So that's a little bit about the features. And I'll talk a little bit more about the NFC chip in a minute as I get a new sweet line. And then I'll talk about the pros and the cons, and then some of the comparisons to other POC helmets that I've used. Finally give you the final verdict. Just a moment. All right, another fun line. So I wanted to talk about the NFC chip, which is really cool because basically there's a little spot in the helmet, and you take your phone and you tap it on it. Opens an app if you've got it installed, and what you do is you write in your kind of vitals. More specifically, you write in, you know, what allergies you have, what your name is, kind of stuff like that, so that if you get found and you're not in good shape, it can help the first responders, you know, get you to the hospital. It has your emergency contacts too. You know, is something like that necessary? No. But it's pretty cool. And frankly, it's very fun to tap your phone to the helmet and have your little profile come up. For me, the info that I included was, I'm the fattest mountain biker that you've ever seen. That's how you'll know it's me. It's kind of all I got to do. Sweet. All right, next line. Talk about the pros and cons. Here's another fun line with a lot of stairs, but I want to talk about the pros and cons of this helmet. For me, you know, the main pro and the reason I got it was impact protection. All the written reviews, you know, and just the ton of features that the thing has. All the reviews say it's like, this is the best you can really do with a half shell helmet. And that's the main reason. It's kind of why you buy it. Another thing I haven't mentioned yet is the integration with goggles. So like I ride downhill a lot and just rocky stuff where I want to wear goggles in case I land on my face. I have broken my orbital bone doing exactly that without goggles, so never again. And the goggle integration is great. The thing about the Tectal helmet that I come from POC, is that when you've got goggles on, if you want to like take them off for a minute, like you really don't have a place to store them on your head. And now the goggle, or rather the visor on these, it first of all is a breakaway visor, so it's not going to get bent like my other one, at least not easily. Also, it doesn't have the whole threaded screw for the adjustment. It's actually, since it's a breakaway thing, like you just push and pull it, and that's really nice. Oh look, stairs. Oh boy. I hadn't done those before. Yeah, so what that means is when you want to take your goggles off, you can just push up the visor and they'll fit underneath. And that's really nice. Also, they made the vents in the back such that if you've got goggles on, you can put the strap in between the vents so it doesn't block any of the airflow, which is pretty rare for a half shell helmet especially. So I love that. There's also what they call the eyeglass garage in the back. Kind of a little bumped out section where you can make use of the vent holes to stow your glasses. And to be honest with you, you can still feel them kind of on the back of your head, but let's see if I can pull this off. No. You can still kind of feel them in the back of your head, but nowhere near as much as I did on the last POC helmet. So it's still not a perfect system, but better than it was. I thought that the initial vents right above the brim were the eyeglass storage solution. So I was trying to jam my glasses in those vents and it didn't work. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? Do I need to buy a new pair of glasses? No. They just go in the back, and it's still better than most helmets, so that's a pro. And the last pro I wanted to mention is the fact that the helmet goes down pretty far in the back. And that is a place where, frankly, I have hit my head, so that's a definite pro. Now, I'm gonna take a time out from the review for a second. If you're ever biking on campus, you got to do this challenge. You don't have to do these stairs, but it's the go around the bell without touching it and without touching any of the sides either. Here we go. Ugh. Okay. Tough with one of these big bikes. Made it. Whew. Now, cons of the helmet. Number one, it's a little bit on the heavier side with all those features packed in. The Tectal I come from in a size medium large, which is smaller than what I wear, it's 350 grams. This in the same size is 401. Now, that translates into just 1/10 of a pound, but I think it's also a little bit higher of a so-called stack height. So it feels a little bit more substantial, a little heavier, which is not great. The other con is the price. You know, POC stuff is always expensive, and this is no exception. $250 for a half shell is pretty rare, not in a good way. And lastly, this particular color, the video is not going to do it justice. It is so neon orange, like it almost creates like a halo effect of orange above your, you know, like in your peripheral vision. It's so orange. Like you'll always be able to be found, which is the point of it, and to be visible. But it is a loud color, and I like that. I'm somebody who wears a mohawk at age 39. But I think for most people, you want to opt black. Anyway, we'll do one more line and wrap it up with a final verdict. Just a moment. All right, so we finish off the best part of campus, my part of campus. This is the Broyhill Music Center, where I teach music. We got Howard's Knob in the distance over there. Beautiful views. And the route I'm about to take is kind of extreme, so I probably won't be able to talk. But maybe I'll fall, and you'll get to see how well the helmet works. Anyway, I wanted to get the thoughts out first about comparisons. So I compare this to the POC Tactile helmet that I have. And that helmet's a little bit lighter. I don't like the visor as much on that helmet. I like this one better. I don't like the glasses storage on that one at all, so I like this one better. This one again being the Kortal Race MIPS. The Tactile, it's not really an apples to apples comparison, because the Tactile does come in a Race MIPS NFC version. It's $10 cheaper than the helmet I'm wearing. But I would suggest paying the extra $10 so you can stow your glasses, so that there's better goggle integration, and you don't lose anything in the way of ventilation. Just a little bit added weight, but also more protection. It's a beefier helmet. So just a moment. So yeah, the final verdict for me is, like, I loved the Tactile, and this is even better. So I recommend it. A lot of different color options. Ooh. But if you're somebody who isn't, you know, running stairs at a university, or like if you like to just kind of do standard trails, then something lightweight and maybe even more breathable would be beneficial. Another reason that I get this, and I think it's worth buying, is the style of it, the kind of Scandinavian minimalist style. I really like. You know, a lot of the really common helmets are from Fox or Troy Lee Designs, and I am not a motocross person, and those things just remind me of like NASCAR motocross kind of stuff, and it's not my style. So I do recommend this helmet. It is expensive, but it is worth it if you fall a lot like me. Oh, drops. Oh. And now we go by Yosef, which is like mountain folk speak for yourself. So isn't that cool? App State University's mascot is you. Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's top it off with the scariest thing. These steps are steep. So here we go, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo! All right, y'all. Till next time, here from App State. Cheers, till the next ride.